Welcome to this week's episode of Spicing Things Up, and actually the first episode of Spicing Things Up in 2021. So there we have it. But
Yay.
I'm your host, Brendan Merkel, and I'm here with my good friend Jacob Benson. Jacob, how are we feeling today?
Kids listening to this at home, don't lift weights. It's not good for you. I have severely injured my back and my side. I cannot stop complaining about it. Work was hell. We're 5 days in, Brennan, and I've just gravely injured myself. You know what? You think you're cool when you're lifting. You're getting big. Like, yeah, you put on some muscle. You're mostly swagger. You're not even muscle anymore. You're swag.
Did you know they actually have some workout gear at the gym usually that is for that specific reason, so you don't hurt your back? Were you wearing one of those?
No, I was using a Smith
back
machine.
brace?
No. Oh, you talking about the belts?
The belts, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not a hardo.
I know, but those make you look cool. So
Yeah,
I might just start wearing one of those, around town.
Wearing on campus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the biggest flex you could do in class is wearing one of those weightlifting belts. You know what you're talking about. People come to you for lifting advice after that. Which
no one's gonna want to mess with you.
No, exactly. You're like, oh no, this guy definitely deadlifts like 305 pounds. I'm going to be very specific here because I know a thing or two about lifting. But now I'm no longer doing it because I'm scared to until I go back and do it probably tomorrow when I'm feeling better. I actually have a pillow behind my chair that I'm sitting on like an elderly person.
Self-love is the best love.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about some football.
Dude, I have a football hangover from how much football happened this weekend. I don't know about you.
I couldn't get away from it. Every restaurant I was at, I'm not having a problem with it, obviously. I went to restaurants with my boys, and, you're watching bowl games left and right. And speaking of bowl games, Brennan, we had some very interesting ones happen.
We sure did.
Dabo Swinney cannot hang. Actually, let's talk about the result first. That happened first. Nick Saban's great. We love him. He's going to win the national title.
What was the final score of that one again? 31-14, Alabama.
Yeah. Notre Dame fans definitely knew that was coming.
I mean, come on, dude. Yeah. They
Alabama
looked like they were – I don't feel bad for them. Honestly, good for Notre Dame. They had a good year. But a lot of people, they were doubting if they should have even been in the playoffs. I mean, after they lost to Clemson, a blowout loss a few weeks ago. But when you look back on Notre Dame's season, dude, they went undefeated. They actually beat Clemson in the regular season in OT, but that was without Trevor Lawrence. So
right, I was going to say there's a little asterisk next to that one, but go ahead.
So yeah, that is an asterisk. So I don't know. I don't feel bad for them because they still made the college football playoffs, and I don't feel bad for any team that does that. But
you think Brian Kelly's going to get fired?
No, I don't. Not after going undefeated.
I don't think he's going to either. I just think it's fun. Just any coach that loses to Bama.
Speculation.
You like to
speculate these things. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Nick Saban's unbeatable at this point, in my opinion.
Dude, that team is
especially in the playoffs. They can't lose.
They can't lose, and I mean that's one of those teams that is going to have the highest % chance of winning a national title every single year, no matter how long Nick Saban's going to be the coach. So I mean. Alabama and Ohio State being in the national championship is pretty much what everybody probably would have assumed. Maybe Clemson actually, but let's talk about that game now because that was a surprising game, Ohio State and Clemson.
Like I said, I will reiterate: Dabo Swinney cannot hang. He talked so much shit, and guess what? Trevor Lawrence still an amazing quarterback. I was actually talking about this to my family.
Oh, he played fantastic, actually.
Exactly. Clemson's defense screwed them that game. And guess what? And yeah, you can argue, Justin Fields had the time of his life. Definitely some bruised ribs or cracked at least.
Good for him, though.
Yeah, he's just out there throwing touchdowns. Hey, interesting stat for you. He actually threw more touchdowns than missed passes than incompletes.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, he shut a lot of people up with that game. He had 6 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
And the majority of those were to tight ends. It was kind of funny. It was just like
watching an NFL game.
Back and forth. Yeah, seriously. He would fit in with a lot of teams if just throw into tight ends every time. He was like Oprah out there. You get one.
You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's got to help his draft status, right? I mean.
Yeah, so I've been thinking he's going to go to the Jets, but I don't think they have any plans to get rid of Sam Darnold. Because Trevor Lawrence isn't going to the Jets. People are thinking that game worsened his draft stock, but no.
He's still. Think so? No, I don't think so. Absolutely not.
If they still both at their best, Trevor Lawrence still towers Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think
That man
even
was made
though
in a laboratory to play like football quarterback. Like he is 6'6". Like I talked about it last couple of weeks, but yeah, that man is just he's a test tube, dude. That's what he
yeah,
is. He's a cheat
like
code.
like you were saying though before about Dabo Sweeney, did you see where he actually ranked Ohio State in the finals, the coaches
Coaches
poll
poll.
for the
It's like
season?
11.
11th. Didn't put him in the top 10, and I mean that was
Not even
mostly
the top
because of
five.
yeah, and that was
Not even the
because
top
the
10 is what I
whole
meant.
that they only played 8 games compared to the full schedule played by most teams. And actually, Ohio State missed 2 weeks because of COVID, so they literally only played 6 games.
Right.
So it is a little like questionable, but I mean,
I
now
wouldn't
you
say
can
so.
now I wouldn't say so either. I mean, they're such a good team, and now Dabo literally just oh my gosh, he was like, yeah, the game prepping for Ohio State is going to take no time at all. It's going to be a quick study.
Right. And
Dude,
anybody that wins their like conference championship, they should automatically be in the top 10 in my learned opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they
depending on the
only played 6
conference.
games, but they still beat Northwestern in the Big Ten championship. They still beat Indiana. Both of those teams were top 25 this year, which we haven't seen in the Big Ten for a while, aside from Michigan, who's having a horrible
Yeah.
season. See you, Jim Harbaugh. But yeah,
But yeah, dude, the final score that game literally wasn't even close. So Dabo, dude, you gotta. I don't know.
that point was late enough, or that game kind of went late enough in the night, and I had enough drinks in me. I watched Justin Fields throw one more touchdown. I was like, yeah, this game's over. And this was about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter because they
Dude,
were
he
already
was
up by 3
slinging it.
touchdowns at that point. And I was like, yeah, they're not coming back from this. And I don't think the score changed.
It might have not. But dude, I mean, on the other side of the ball, going back to Trevor Lawrence, Jags fans watching that game, like he was getting smacked, like he was getting hit after throws, he was getting just destroyed. Their O line was not helping him out whatsoever. So
No,
I'm
it looked
sure
like watching a
Jags
Bengals
fans,
game.
dude, it literally did. So I'm sure those Jaguars fans were like just sitting on the edge of their seats, like
Please don't break him.
please let this game just be over. He's
Yeah.
already going to be the first overall pick. But I think
Pull him out, pull him out.
yeah, I think the most surprising thing was, Etienne, the Clemson's quarterback, I think Travis Etienne, he's been a standout stud all year. He only rushed for 40 yards this game. So
Not
I think that's
surprising.
why
Ohio
they
State
lost.
played like they played out of their minds. If they
Yeah.
play like that against Alabama in the national title next Monday, dude, they are going to last a lot longer than.
I mean, yeah.
I
The-
still don't think they'll win. I still definitely can believe that Alabama is going to be the national champions this year, but Ohio, like, it's going to be a fantastic game to watch if they both play at their best.
Yeah, that'll be Justin Fields versus Mac Jones, and both of them are potential first round. Well, Justin Fields will definitely be a first rounder, but Mac Jones he's trying to rise up the draft board as well. So
I
with
think you will.
everyone,
Most Alabama quarterbacks historically will be doing that.
I could see him going to like the Saints or something, but I think most of the eyes will be on Fields. So I think Mac Jones is just going to come out there probably with no pressure. So I think it'll be a great game. I think after seeing what these two teams did last week, I think they probably match up better than what the other two would have been. So
Yeah, and you've seen that tweet of the swap of Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones' hair.
yeah, I saw that a while ago.
Disgusting.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Oh yeah, but what I was gonna say, so it's weird to think that Trevor Lawrence has 2 years of eligibility left in college to play too, and he's going to be going to the NFL.
that's crazy, dude. I mean, he's probably younger than us, right?
Yeah, he's a year younger, but
Is he like 20, 21? I think he's 21
something like
now.
that.
I don't even know.
Because he's a junior this year.
Okay, so yeah, he's probably
He's
a
getting
little
there.
bit, yeah.
But yeah, like just thinking that we're the old guys now, man. Like when we were kids, we were watching college football.
Feels
we used to
bad.
look up to these guys. Yeah, we're down bad dudes right now, dude.
It does not feel great.
But yeah, I also want to get to Thomas Brant Venables, the Clemson's defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
The man looks terrifying, by the way, but don't let his looks deceive you. So Clemson's been a top 5 defense ever since he's been on their team. And yet Ohio State's offense just wiped the floor with them, dude.
Is he on the hot seat?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think
Because
he is.
you 100% have to blame. So if you're not going to blame Clemson's line, you have to blame their defense.
Yeah, I mean,
That
they
play
did not
calling
play a
just
good game.
yeah, the play calling itself, I think, just was not looking good. And guess whose fault that is?
I just don't think they, like many people, I don't think they were ready for the Justin Fields that they saw. Because I sure wasn't. I will admit firsthand that I have not been talking the best about Justin Fields. I didn't think he was going to be a good NFL quarterback, which
He
who's
could be a bust. I'm
no
scared.
no one knows that yet. I mean, Tua, we've seen Tua's kind of little fall down these past few weeks, but
Can
we'll
you
see.
completely blame him though, Tua?
Just no, and I mean, we could talk about that too when we get to the Dolphins Bills in a second, but
Right. But yeah, dude, Justin Fields, I'm not worried so much that he's like going to be a bust, but I'm worried he's going to be going to the wrong team. I just don't see him working out for the Jets very much. I feel like like at this point that team is just cursed. I feel like with Adam Gase being fired, they could have a bright future ahead of them, but I don't see Justin Fields performing well with the New York Jets.
well, the Jets are definitely like one of the least intriguing spots to end up at,
It is.
especially. I mean, it depends though, as like because right now they're just fired Adam Gase. They're open for a new head coach,
Mm-hmm.
so they actually have like I think the second most cap space, and they also have a top 2 draft pick. So I mean, they can turn that thing around within a few years. You never know, but that is all depending on the quarterback that they draft. And now, the most safe pick with Lawrence is out of their hands now. So it definitely is. It's going to be risky if they decide to go with a quarterback, which I think they definitely should.
Yeah, and it's scary to think, with Justin Fields' injuries he sustained Saturday night, or I'm sorry, Friday night.
Yep.
That would make a Jets fan scared as well, that he's possibly injury prone, but still can play with an injury. But imagine if he was pushed harder, because he was handing the ball a lot. So,
Yeah.
it makes you think.
It does. I mean, you gotta in every instance that a quarterback's drafted in the top 10, it's just gotta be so just nerve-wracking for these organizations. I mean, look with the Bears. The Bears drafted Mitch Trubisky second overall. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
do you feel like that quarterbacks that start on QB1 Beyond the Lights on Netflix are going to be bust in the NFL? Because look
Was
at Jimmy
Justin
Garoppolo.
Fields on that?
Justin Fields was on season 2. That is correct.
Okay.
But you know what? He's one of the so there's actually a rare amount of quarterbacks that actually end up going to the schools that they commit to.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, Tate Martell wanted to go to Ohio State too, and he ended up at Miami, not even as a quarterback.
Probably because they paid him or some shit. But
Probably.
we won't talk about that.
No, that's not our table.
That's not our job.
Switching gears, I think we should talk about week 17 of the NFL. Sad boy noises inserted.
Rest in peace, NFL
season.
regular season.
Oh boy. You know what? One highlight from week 17. Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph squashing the beef on Twitter.
I saw that.
That made me so happy. I was like, you know what? Because remember on last week we were talking about how like we wanted these two to see each other again, because it does make for an interesting storyline. And then, to everyone's surprise, the beef was squashed.
And they actually will meet again next week because the Browns play the Steelers first round. I mean, Mason Rudolph probably won't see the field, but yeah, those two teams will be playing again next week, which is kind of funny because they just played very closely. Browns almost got eliminated because the Steelers missed a 2-point extra or 2-point conversion to tie it up. So, but yeah, no, that was a pretty interesting game actually. Even though I think we both picked the Browns to cover that one, and it did not end up happening.
We'll get to that.
We'll get there because I think we ended up doing fairly well. But let's start with.
Actually, no, I want to throw something in real quick. So there was also a very interesting weekend. We had 3 NFL coaches being fired. There should have been 4, but we only had 3. And that 4 I will get to in just a second here. But,
tis the season.
Yeah, so rest in peace to Doug Marrone, Anthony Lynn, and Adam Gase. All of them kind of deserved it and saw it coming, but still, it's just sad to see. They'll definitely get work somewhere else. But, like when you're watching the Oscars and they do like the in memoriams at the end of it.
Yeah.
This is kind of like looking at those guys like names on ESPN. I kind of felt like I was in that setting.
Yeah, it's just a picture of Adam Gase shoving a smelling salt up his ass. All right, so should we move on to some games?
Doug Peterson is the worst.
Dougie Spoons. Hey, it's Dougie Spoons. Yes, I don't know, dude.
He
I
should be
think
fired.
he's on the hot seat. Let's start with that game. Might as well get out of the way. Elephant in the room. Washington football team versus Eagles. Sunday Night Football. I've seen it all, man. I really have. What's your reaction to that?
So first of all, we were both wrong on the cover because the line was at 1. We both said the Eagles. That did not happen. So Doug Peterson put in the third-string quarterback in the fourth quarter, and Jalen Hurts wasn't having a great game, but he was responsible for those 2 touchdowns they had.
Yeah.
He threw he threw a couple interceptions. He wasn't great on completion, but there was no reason to take him out of the game that late when you're down by a touchdown.
So what do you think? What do you think of Peterson doing that? Do you think that
he was tanking?
I know he was, but why do you think that was like the right call
to
blow the game? Yeah, I mean, for the Eagles,
it'll get you 3 better draft picks as long as there's because he's going to be investigated for it.
Yeah, and I mean there was multiple instances that kind of showed Doug Peterson opting to take the losing route. I mean, they went for it on 4th down in the red zone instead of kicking a field goal that would have tied it earlier in the game. Benching Hurts, for Nate Sudfeld, who turned both of his turnovers were some of the fishiest, worst looking turnovers I've ever seen.
Looked like he was shaving points.
And it also makes you wonder. Yeah, it makes you wonder, like Carson Wentz being a healthy scratch, like coming into this game. I think they kind of were coming into this already with the mentality like
Carson Wentz isn't playing.
Yeah, I don't think the players came into the game thinking like, we're going to lose this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And you know what? His excuse for putting Nate Sudfeld in was like, oh, yeah, we kind of flirted with it last week, and, we wanted him to get some playing time. Like, this is one of the most important games of your season, and you're putting in your third-string quarterback.
You already have 2 guys that
my guy.
Yeah, I don't think it was the right move to totally just, like, jump ship on Jalen Hurts. I mean, come on.
No, not at all.
You guys aren't in playoff contention. Just see if this guy can come in and give you a fourth quarter run to win you the game. Like, I don't know.
And when you're at the point where your entire team, your staff, your players are screaming at you, what the hell is that? Why are you doing this? This makes no sense in my head. And you have 2 defenders whose names have not been released to the public. The 2 defenders on the Eagles were literally trying to kick his ass on the field. They were restrained by coaches. And I looked at this today. Like when I was looking at the official list of coach firings for the 2020 season, they want to retain Doug Peterson on the Philadelphia Eagles. We've been rooting for them, man. We wanted them to win this game so badly.
It's tough. I mean, honestly, though, the Giants didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Washington deserved to be in the playoffs. I mean, Giants fans, like all the Giants players are hitting Twitter. You had like Golden Tate tweeting like
Eli Manning.
Yeah, why do the Eagles hate us? Like, dude, you won 6 games. Like, come on. You're not going to make the playoffs winning 6 games. But at the same time, as an Eagles fan, I would have liked to see our possibly future franchise quarterback stay in the game and potentially knock a team out of the playoffs. I don't know. Just play for a win. It's just it was tough to watch.
He told the press, like, yeah, as a head coach, I play to win. You just got to trust the Doug Peterson system. Who the hell says that?
The Doug Peterson system. I don't think anyone's ever trusted that ever.
I think Doug Peterson is the only one that has to say you have to trust, or the only one that would say you have to trust the Doug Peterson system.
Yeah, because no one else.
This guy's working for the mafia.
Trust that at all.
He's working for the mafia.
Wish.
All right, let's get to the playoff picture because this is actually pretty exciting. We're actually seeing some teams here that have not even appeared in the playoffs nor have probably even thought about it in the longest time.
Yeah.
So first game we got – so this is the wild card round for those who do not know. First round, so 2 teams get the bye. And, well, typically that's it. But it's 1 team per conference now, which we've already discussed and stuff. So first game is the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. And – I'm actually excited to watch this. I'm pretty sure the Bills will win, and I'm pretty sure they're going to carry all the way over to the AFC Championship.
You want to toss out the lines so we can discuss those?
Yeah. We'll kill two birds with one stone here. So actually, Brennan, we were 4 for 5 on our picks last week. I got the receipts of the games last week. We were
Well,
four for
so we
five.
got the Eagles Washington game wrong, and we also got the Browns one wrong, though.
Right, and the Colts because we said they were going to cover, and they won by exactly 14.
So Jacob, how did we end up doing last weekend with some of the lines? Because I know there were some tough ones.
We almost went 500, which I think is pretty good considering you and I, we're still kind of new to this, but our advice, I think, has been helping. I know we've been doing slightly better in the weeks before. I mean, this was obviously going to be a tricky week. So there were so many divisional games, but
Week 17 is definitely a hard one to bet on because I mean, look what the Eagles just did. You don't know what's going to happen.
you don't know what's going to happen. Is a lot of these games, in a sense, I'm not trying to like contradict you here, but some of these games are going to be predictable. Like everybody could have said that the Chiefs were probably going to lose to the Chargers by just benching every single starter.
True, but
Um,
what was the final score of that game? They lost by like a lot. They lost by like over 2 touchdowns, didn't they?
yeah,
So I don't think anybody
I
would
didn't
have.
even watch it.
Yeah, I don't think I even thought about turning that game on. But the lines are definitely trickier for Week 17 because you never know what team you're going to see. You
No.
really don't.
So let's start off with the Indianapolis Colts and the Buffalo Bills. So the line is set at 6.5. Bills are favored, and I would want to take this because the Bills have just been like they've been getting 50 burgers like it's nothing lately, dude. Last two
Yeah,
weeks, it's
no,
insane.
I am taking the Bills for sure.
And we got a 51.5 over under. I would
I
take
mean,
that over under or
I
I would
like
take
it
that
too.
over because the Bills themselves have been scoring more than that their last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I think the Colts are a good enough team to
Oh yeah, they'll hang.
they'll hang for a little bit, but less than a touchdown spread for the Bills that have been just destroying teams as of late.
It's
Josh
impossible to
Allen,
not take that. It's way
Josh
too
Allen.
attractive.
I know he's been mentioned in the MVP race, but I don't think he gets enough credit. I think he's playing out of his mind right now. I'm taking the Bills for sure,
Same here. And going back to Josh Allen for MVP, you can't really base an entire season off a couple games though.
dude. But he broke the Bills passing record. He I don't have his stats up right now, but I don't know. He is had a
He's a
record breaking
contender.
season.
He's a
He's
contender.
definitely a contender. I just don't think that he is at the top of people's lists as much as he should be. Not top, but like, one of those upper guys that have actually been the cause of why their team is winning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So we'll agree on that then. So next game is the Rams and the Seahawks with the line set of 4, and the Seahawks are favored. And
Mm,
this one's actually kind of tricky. I could definitely see a Rams upset here. I know I've been talking about the last couple of weeks that the Seahawks are definitely going to make it to at least the divisional round, but
yeah,
as of late, because Jared Goff's not playing though, right? So
I don't know if
that's
he
also the
is,
reason why.
but either whether or not he starts, I mean, even when he was healthy, he didn't play well.
Right.
At least he didn't play that well. So I don't know, dude. I think what's the over under for this one,
42.5, which I think is pretty low. I definitely think an over would
dude?
hit here.
I don't know. I
Well, because the
think,
Rams are a very defensive team, is the thing.
and they scored like 9 points last week or something.
Yeah.
And both, actually, both of the times that the Rams and Seahawks have played this year, they have scored under 43 points. So it
Interesting.
could be one of those
You think
games.
history will repeat itself?
I don't know. That's 3 times the charm. So you never know.
Well, you know what? We're risking our listeners' bet money. So let's take an under here.
I
Let's
think
throw it out
I
there.
think I would go with the under rather the over,
Would you
and
take the Seahawks
rather
cover?
I don't know if I could take the Seahawks cover. I think I would. I think the points here are that it's tough.
Here, how about this? How
I do
about
think I do think that Seattle can win. I think they'll cover.
okay? I was gonna say if you weren't confident about it, you could just say that the Rams were probably gonna cover, and I could see the Seahawks were, because then at least one of us would be right when we talk about it next week.
Sure, I mean I can, but I think I
It's
would
a win-win.
rather put money on
The
the
Seahawks.
Saint or Seahawks winning and covering.
I would too. I would put your money on that too. All right. Up next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Football Team, with the line at 8.5. And I'm sure you can guess who's favored.
I'm guessing that the Bucks are favored
You are
as they
correct,
should.
my friend. Yeah, and the over/under is set at 45.
Hmm.
I think the Buccaneers are going to dominate Washington, dude.
They should, but they've been such a
You can't
streak.
say dark horse.
No, they've been streaky, and dark horse would be a good thing. And the Washington football team, dude, they have a tough defense. And I know this last week they were kind of not their usual selves against the Eagles. That was an ugly game. I mean, they were kind of struggling to keep up with a team that was tanking, but it's enticing to take the Washington football team, honestly, for this. 8.5 is kind of big.
That
It's
is
a
a
big
big
spread.
spread. Okay, so should we just go ahead and let's agree on a Washington cover?
You think so? I mean, we could do the thing where one of us is right, one of us is wrong.
Oh, no.
You like
I'm
it?
on your side here. Yeah, I'm on your
I'm
side here.
it might be a little bit of out there type of pick, but I kind of like Washington football team this week. I'm rooting for Alex Smith too.
I'm
They're
rooting for him too.
they're a rootable team. I like
And
them.
you know,
I don't think they'll
I'm not a
win,
huge fan of
but-
Tom Brady, but
Oh, you don't have to tell me that.
yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and take an over also, or at least I'm going to. I would want to take an over on this game. We're set at 45 here. I definitely
Yeah,
think that
I
would-
like it. I like that.
that's a pretty low over for this type of game, don't you think?
I
Unless I'm
think
really
so.
thinking it's gonna be a trap game.
It could be. That's the thing. That's the only reason I see Washington covering is if it kind of is
just
closer
take
to the
advantage.
under.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
This game's gonna
playoff
go one
football,
of two
dude.
ways. Either the Bucks are gonna dominate,
Tom Brady's going to throw for 5 touchdowns.
or Washington's gonna like really sneak. I still think the Bucks will win this game regardless, but Washington's gonna sneak up and make it a close game, and they're good. Like the Bucks are gonna have to earn this.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think it's going to be as easy as like drawing the Bears,
Yeah.
like the Saints Bears game.
Exactly. All right. So up next we got the Ravens and the Titans with the line at 3, and this is gonna be a fun game to watch.
I think so.
I am more than happy. So we're officially on to Sunday.
Okay.
And I am more than happy to start my day off with this because we got like I said, that line set at 3. Ravens are favored, as they should be.
Mhm.
And then we got an over-under of 54.5.
Oof.
Huge. That's
I-
huge.
I kind of like that over though.
You do.
I do.
Okay. I could hop in on that too, actually.
I
It seems like a
see
big number.
these.
Then I realized
It
you know
does
what?
seem like it, but also both of these offense. I mean,
They're both high
Yes.
scorers.
they're both high scores. Last week, did you see the play? Titans were down to the Texans, and like the next drive after the Texans took the lead, Ryan Tannehill just like tossed a bomb to like AJ Brown, caught it like first play of the drive, just threw an absolute bomb downfield, and they were within scoring distance or scoring range like instantly. So I just think that both of these teams can kind of flip that offensive switch where they can just go crazy. And I think this could be a high scoring game, but I also think that the Ravens are going to win.
I think so too. And you know what? I'm actually really happy for Ryan Tannehill. I feel like he's
So am I.
definitely found his team. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so. I hope they keep him around because I think he is a perfect fit for it.
Yeah, and you know he played in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, he
That's
did.
a
And
big accomplishment.
they were – do you remember how hot the Titans were last year in the playoffs?
Oh my God! Yeah,
They were a
Derrick
team
Henry,
no
you
one
couldn't
wanted to
stop
play.
them.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to play them. I was like, what the hell? Like I was like biting my nails the entire AFC Championship last year. That was just
Dude,
horrifying. It was
you
literally a 3-hour anxiety trip.
Do you think you could survive a hit from Derrick – and both of you in full pads, do you think
Oh,
you
yeah.
could survive a hit from Derrick Henry?
Haven't you heard, dude? Like pads are like indestructible, man. It's impossible for you to get injured. I don't know how these people keep doing it.
I think
That's
I
a
would
hot take
die.
for me. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I would die. I'd probably die of a heart attack before he hit me, just because of the thought of the shock
Absolutely.
force going through my body.
Kind of like how people, when they fall off buildings, like before they hit the ground, they usually die of heart attacks.
Yeah. Do you
Kinda like
remember
that
when
type
you?
of thing.
Yeah, when you asked
Death
me.
flashes before your eyes, and you just die before you die.
Yeah, you realize your entire life is just a BoJack Horseman episode,
And you
and
just shit your pants. Because
yeah, and then
that's
Derrick
what-
Henry just whops you. But do you remember when you asked me if DK Metcalf or if I could beat him in a race? If I had a head start?
Yeah.
I'd probably die before I got there because he would probably just be like right behind me after like 5 seconds. And I'd be like, oh, okay. But yeah, sorry, moving on. So we got the Bears and the Saints.
Yeah. What's the
Um,
line on that one?
I'm scared to say it because I don't want to offend you, but I need to be objective here. It's 9.5.
Yeah, no, that's very fair.
We're
I
not
mean,
hurting each other's feelings in 2021. New year, new us.
the thing is, the Bears. What was their score when they played? Because they played the
The Packers.
Saints.
Oh, the same.
No,
Oh,
no.
earlier.
They earlier in the year they played the Saints, and I want to say it was a close game. It was 26-23 in OT, and that's when Nick Foles was starting at quarterback.
Oh, okay.
So, but at the same time, I can't remember if Drew Brees was starting. Okay, they were still without Michael Thomas. So I mean,
hmm
as I
But
think
I'm
they were
guessing he'll
going.
be back for.
I don't think he is. I don't know if he's playing,
Okay.
but I
Sorry,
mean,
guys. We should have done our research before.
he's been out for the majority of the season, and I want to say he's not going to be. But at the
Yeah.
same time, the Bears just had a taste of Devontae Adams destroying them the entire time. And
Yeah.
no offense to Michael Thomas, I think he's a great. He's barely drops any balls, but he's not on the same level as Devontae Adams. Not
No.
even close.
No.
So I don't know. I think the Bears. I think they could stand a chance, but it's
This game, I could see this
I
game being a toss up.
and I'd kind of want to. I think they can cover. I think I would very much like to take the Bears 9.5.
And you're taking all personal inflictions out of this decision, correct?
You know, no,
No.
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not. But
At least
I
you're
think
proud.
I think I am making a logical enough point to where I can talk myself into taking the Bears in not a biased way.
Okay.
And you know, it's the Bears are in the playoffs, dude. That's all I want.
Oh
That's all
yeah.
I
Hey, congratulations on being the first ever 7th seed.
one or two, first time ever.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Exactly. All right.
Me,
So
us in the Washington football team who aren't even 500. So that
ridiculous.
doesn't feel like we're amongst great company. But I think both of the 7 seeds, I'm saying both of them are going to cover.
And you know what? A lot of people have been saying that they don't think the Bears or the Washington football team deserve to be in the playoffs, but I say they do. That's my
I mean,
opinion. I
technically
want
they
them
don't
in there.
because on a regular year they wouldn't have made it.
The Bears would
But
have made it over the Washington football team.
yeah, but it's like yeah, that's true. So I mean,
We're just collectively talking about it.
yeah, I think an 8-8 team making the playoffs. I mean, it's happened a lot, but they don't go far. So it's like Dolphins missing it at 10-6 is probably that's depressing.
Right. And hey, also another congratulations for you because you completely predicted what the Bears record was going to be this year before it even started.
I mean,
I know they're a pretty predictable.
it's the safe bet, and
Yeah.
I think out of my lifetime, the Bears have probably ended up 8-8, like for half of it. At least
Hey,
it feels
it's not a
like
losing
it.
record.
And 3-13 the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But
At least it's not a losing record. Be
yeah.
proud of
So
that.
I'll take it. I will take a Bears playoff game. At least I have something to look forward to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and as a
Like,
non-biased spectator here, I would also take a Bears cover. That last
Thank
game
you.
was way too close,
Thank you.
and Mr. Trubisky wasn't even starting, and Drew
Yeah.
Brees was.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not overlooking the Bears. I genuinely think they have a chance here, at least to cover. I don't know if they're going to win, but I do think they're going
I
to cover
agree.
at least.
I agree.
And so we're at a over/under of 47.5, and I would happily take that too. I would take the over.
Yeah, the Packers-Bears game went over last week, as I think we both predicted. So I think again, I like the over as well.
Mm-hmm. All right, and last but not least, for the wild card round, we have the Browns and the Steelers. I actually just found out that Kevin Stefanski and 4 other Browns players have COVID going into next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a tough look for them.
that's a recipe for a loss right there.
Yeah, this is definitely the most Browns thing to
Damn.
happen. You know, you get your fans super pumped for the season because you're playing very well, like compared to historical seasons. And then
First time
finally
making
make
playoffs in 18 years.
Yeah, you make the playoffs in 18 years. You're going against the Steelers, a team that you can beat. Like, you have the potential to beat. And then 5 guys on your team, or 5 very important people get COVID.
Damn, dude. That's a tough break for the Browns, dude. I actually feel
wrecked.
bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
me
this
too.
team went from starting Brandon Whedon for like half their season like 4 years ago, and they finally have a competent quarterback. And damn, that sucks.
Yeah, so it's looking like the Steelers are probably going to win this game. But let me go ahead. So did I tell you the line was at 6? Steelers are favored, and I bet that's going to go up just because of the COVID situation.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just a line to kind of keep your eye on,
Right.
whether that fluctuates at all. So, but as of right now,
This is a good game to put money on.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, could be if they even offer money to be put on it yet. But I like the 6 line as of right now for Steelers, but that's a tough draw for the Browns.
Yeah, no, it definitely sucks for them since no one's
Browns
really
probably have like the worst playoff like route out of
route.
anyone.
Yeah.
Like they would have to play the Steelers, they would have to play the Bills, the Chiefs. Jeez, that's a tough draw.
100%.
So I feel bad, but hey, it's kind of like the Bears, dude. I mean, I'm sure Browns fans they're just happy to be there, man. And
100%, dude.
Yeah,
They don't care.
do they? I don't think they care. Cleveland's one of those teams, dude. That they're just gonna
They're grateful.
they're grateful.
So the Steelers are probably going to win this game. Are they going to cover? Probably, unless that line keeps kind of increasing, or that spread does. So right now, while it's at 6, let's go ahead and say they're going to cover. And we have an over/under of 47.5. Because of how these two teams have played in the past, I think we might see an under. I'm going to see. I'm expecting to see a pretty, at least strong defensive game from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not going to say they're going to shut down. I won't say they'll shut down Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, or like Baker Mayfield instantly or anything. It's going to be a good game to watch, but I definitely think
so too.
we could see an under happening here.
I agree with that.
All right, and that is the wild card round for the NFL playoffs.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, bro. Same. All right, switching gears here, Brennan. It is the new year. I have a question for you, though. When can you stop saying Happy New Year to people? When's it too late to be saying it?
Dude, I think
you go a whole year without seeing somebody. And if it's your first interaction you've had with them since the year before, can you technically still say Happy New Year?
Dude, I don't think so. I mean, I was at work today and somebody told me Happy New Year's and I was like, what?
4 days later.
Yeah, 5 days. I mean, I don't know if that counts, but I think you can give it like, 2-3 weeks where you can maybe the month of January. Let's say I think
we'll cut it off there.
Still say I think that's where you cut it off.
Okay, because I don't know if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's the Larry David show on HBO.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you remember that first episode of season last year? He's like, it's literally called Happy New Year, and like everybody goes around and still says Happy New Year to him. And it's like way past that. Like we're like in February at this point. And yeah. That just got me thinking. Cause I'm like, New Year's just happened. I'm still hearing Happy New Year's from people. I'm sure I'm not alone in my plight. So I just wanted to see what other people thought of that. But I got some tea I got to spill here.
Let's hear it.
The concept of New Year's resolutions drives me bananas, my friend. Because why wait for a whole new calendar year to start to like change yourself? Like why wouldn't you want to make that change instantly?
All right, dude. Are you you're gonna be a motivational speaker or something?
No,
personal trainer?
No. I'm just saying like
you're gonna make me drop down and give you 20?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like so I know it's one thing for because everybody's hungover on New Year's. Everybody's like New Year's resolutions like, oh, I'm going to be nicer to people. I'm going to be a better person. And those are good goals to have, but you shouldn't be like waiting for a specific day to start doing that. It's like people giving stuff up for land. Like, if you want to make changes, make changes. I know it is a good starting period because everybody else is doing it, but dude, it just drives me insane. It's more like people going on social media and talking about it, I think is what really grinds my gears here.
All right. Well, I have a list of resolutions. And I was going to share, but now I don't feel welcome.
Dude, our resolution's the best. Let's totally talk about it. So what's your first
one?
All
right. So we're still sharing them. It's still a thing to do. So my first one is actually I need to quit consuming so much caffeine. I really do. Like it's tough how reliant I am on coffee. But I mean, I really don't want to, so we'll see. I need coffee to kind of live.
I need to give up having angry thoughts towards people that I don't know. I'm a very impatient driver, and anybody
Oh,
that's ever in a car with me will know this. You've been in the car with me a couple times. I'm sure you've seen a small glimpse of my road
I'm the
rage, but
same way. I'm the
I
same
am
way.
like
Patience.
cursing this person's family for generations to come. I'm like I don't even know this person. Like, yeah, they might have cut me off or they might not use their signal, but I just need to like pass the vibe check when I'm driving, bro. Like,
I
it's
do.
not fun for me to just like have a obsessional anger with just a person I'm probably never going to see in my life again.
I do think I need to have a little more patience in this new year because I'm the same
Patience and
way.
wisdom.
Patience and wisdom. I need. I'm one of those people like when I'm watching TV and a commercial comes on, I switch the channel because I just can't stand to watch commercials because I'm just that impatient.
Do you remember
So
when
I need a.
DVRs existed?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure they still do.
not
I haven't
really,
had,
but
yeah, I haven't had satellite TV in years, but like, I'm sure, yeah, DVRs. Poor TiVo, man.
yeah. And then my next resolution is kind of a cliche one, but it was go to the gym more. But I mean, gyms right now they're either closed or crowded, and I don't want to catch COVID, so
You're talking
I'm
to a
gonna
gym rat
I'm
right
gonna
now.
hold off for now. But maybe it'll happen. If it happens, it happens. But that was on my list just to say it was. So see
It's the thought that counts, first of all. And second of all,
exactly.
so a little anecdote here I can share with you and the crowd. I just found out recently that my apartment gym where I've been working out, um, apparently there's like a waiting list and like a time to schedule your workout. And I
So
didn't know that. I've
you've
just
just
been
been
walking
barging
in.
in.
Yeah, I've just been walking in, like, getting huge, getting the grind in. And then apparently we're also supposed to be wearing masks when working out. I don't go in when there's other people. Like, I like to just kind of have my
Oh, so
own
that doesn't
peace of
really
mind.
matter.
Oh, no. And worst case, if there's someone else in there, it's my roommate. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to catch anything, or I don't want to be the target of selfishness from the Twitter crowds.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I did not even think about that. I don't know if that makes you a bad person, but the fact that I've just been walking in my gym at random times throughout the day and like, oh, it's empty. I'll just get my hour long workout in.
Yeah, whatever.
Actually, you're gonna hate me for this one. I need to stop um, trying to create verbal memes to people
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
because I used the word swag earlier in today's episode, Brendan.
You
That's
used the
not
word
okay.
you used the word dank, I think, last week,
I did,
and
and
it
guess what?
wasn't okay. It really wasn't.
When I was talking about my workout to some of my friends on New Year's Eve, because that's all I ever talk about is, me. I talk about this podcast in my workout. You will never hear any other piece of conversation come out of me if you're not on my group. But a kid asked me how long I work out for, and I literally told him one big booty mix.
Yeah, that's not going to slide.
I need to stop being the worst, and that's going to be another
Yeah,
resolution this year.
please.
Do you think people
um,
need like incentives to like stay on their goals? Like, should there be like a punishment kind of if
I
they're or
mean,
a punishment incentive?
I don't think a punishment incentive would work as well as like you know, like a good incentive to where you're treating yourself maybe.
Right.
But
No, I'm talking about like should like the IRS be made aware of like every person in the country's New Year's resolution? Be like, okay, hey, that's coming out of your tax money. If you mess up this year, like you're gonna have to pay like twice as much. So don't f up this year, buddy. We're rooting for you.
that sounds like a dystopian society waiting to happen. Don't
No,
we gotta cut this part out because I don't want anyone getting that idea and putting it to reality.
yeah. In full disclosure, I'm probably not gonna cut it out.
That's fine. And
All right.
the last one actually I was gonna say is watch more sports, but not like NFL or NBA. I want to be able to like list off the teams in each division of the WNBA or something,
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like cricket or
or
like
be able to recognize like the specific car of a NASCAR driver. I just want to become like a human sports almanac. That's my. I feel like all of my resolutions sound like so half-assed.
no,
Like
no, 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 no.
no, it feels like
I've
like
never heard
that.
anybody say that one before.
I
It's
mean, I
original.
feel like Andy Bernard from The Office, where like they were all coming up with New Year's resolutions, and he was like,
Oh my god.
um, he's like, my resolution is to learn to cook for one because he always cooks for two, even though he doesn't live with anyone, and and then he has to throw away half of his food. So that's what my resolutions feel like.
Yeah.
Learning to cook for one.
Speaking of The Office, I had a conversation with somebody about how, like, we had a dialogue about The Office leaving Netflix on January 1st.
Yeah,
And
big,
don't take this
huge
the wrong
O.
way. Don't take this the wrong way. I told them, oh, well, maybe you can develop a personality finally. And
I
I
mean,
felt, and like I said, this is something I need to work on for my resolution for 2021. New year, new us. Got any more?
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Also, shout out to a friend Ryan from Illinois. So last week I put out on the pod that we have an email and we're looking for new cover art. And Ryan from Illinois, I checked my inbox today, and
He sent a dank meme.
he sent a dank meme. We need Disney princess who open carries, and it's a picture of Rapunzel holding an assault rifle. So I'm not sure if we exactly need that. We probably should not be making that our cover art. It wasn't even like a picture; it was a PNG file.
Sounds like. Thank you, Ryan. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Ryan, for blessing my day and my timeline, because I'm scared to put this on social media. I was gonna do this to promote the show, but I know we'll get canceled within 5 seconds, and we're not trying to do that. So yeah, shout out to Ryan. You know what? If you want, man, keep sending us memes. We're here for it. I don't even care about it. I'll just start paying you for the memes instead of a cover art. I'm kidding. Don't take my word on that, bro. But seriously, those are great. So
That was good stuff.
all right, that is our show. Thank you, guys. We are also on YouTube again at Spicing Things Up Podcast. And yeah, like I said, submission ideas, spicingthingsuppodcast@gmail.com. If you want to make us laugh, or perhaps send us some new cover art, because I designed ours and I don't think they're that great personally.
They could get better.
All right, and Brennan, we will see these people next week. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.